Hi, it's Ollie from Get Geek, and today I'm doing a video to show you how to copy people on Etoro. Now, I'm on my virtual account here, so to find new people to copy, I will go into copy people on the left hand side menu here. Now, there's loads of different ways you can find people here and filter this by the criteria you're after. So they've got like most copied here, trending people, top investors, people with lower risk scores, medium risk scores. Now it's up to you what you're looking to add to your portfolio. What I find is a good starting point is by actually clicking on most copied. Now I'm not saying just go for the people who are most copied, but I'm saying other people have taken an interest in them, so it's worth a look. So from in here, it's already filtered by certain criteria, so I'll tweak this a little bit. So I'll change that to 24 months, because I want to see how someone's done over two years. Like, I mean, someone could have done well this year, but they could have done terribly the year before that, and I want to see they've got a good track record. Whether they have a picture, I'm not actually fussed about. The risk score 1 to 6. Now this is a funny one because you can't normally copy anyone who's got a risk score above 6, but because of the coronavirus, the markets have been really volatile, and it's meant some of the popular investors are actually going into the 7s, and so they've relaxed this recently. Now, whether or not this is permanent, I don't know, but I think they're either allowing you to copy people who have got a 7 and they're still trading in the same way that they have done previously, or they're just letting you copy anyone with a 7. I think 8s are a no-go at the moment. So I'll just take this off here for now. I mean, sometimes it's good to see someone who's potentially a 7 anyway and has a load of copies, because they may have just fallen into that category briefly, and you may want to add them to a watch list to check out later. So daily drawdown, less than 25%. Yeah, you can leave that. I'm going to take it off for now because I'm not massively fussed. Obviously I want a return greater than 0, and popular investor, I think that means that they're verified by Etoro. So then what I'll normally do is I'll filter this list by, order it by those are the most copiers, and then I'll actually start scrolling down and just have a look who's got a high return over the past 2 years. So say for example here we've got this Spark Liang guy, he's got 80.91%, he'd potentially be worth a check, so I'd probably open him in a new tab just to come back and look at it later. This Jeff Lee has 82.76, I'd put him in a new tab. What you ideally want is a high return for a low risk score, so that's what you're looking for if possible. I mean, what else? There's this one girl here, she's got 94.15%, it's pretty good. So I'll open those up. So let's say for example, let's go in and check out this first guy here, Spark Liang. Now, when looking at their history, I'm trying to see, well, ideally what I want is most months not red and an overall profit for the year. If they have a year with a negative return, then sometimes I let it slide if it's only a small amount, because sometimes people have bad months and bad years. But if it's a massive amount, you really don't want to be copying them. So say you came along with 10k and then they lost you 50% in a year, that's like 5 grand that you've lost. I'll let negative years slide, more so if it's 3 or 4 years plus ago, just because people have to learn, and if I can see that they've gradually improved over time, then I'm hoping that they've learned through their mistakes and that they won't do it again. But anyone who's lost like 100% of their money is a bit of a warning sign to me to probably stay away from. So with this guy here, I mean, you can see in the past year he's only had 1 negative month, that's pretty good, and last year he only had 2 negative months, and overall he made 46.65% last year and 32% already this year, and we're only in June, so that's pretty good. I mean, the year before he had minus 6.55, but I mean, he looks like he's learned from his lesson, so I'd probably give this guy a go. And here you can check out their average risk score over the past 12 months. So you can see what their average is for a month and what their max risk score reaches. Now, risk score does actually go up to 10, I believe, but like I said earlier, you can only max copy someone who's a 7 at the moment, and 6 normally. The number of people who are copying them, I'm not really interested in at the end of the day. And like I said before, it's just a starting point for finding new people. One thing I will look at is the number of trades that they've done. Now, the fact this guy has only done 37 total trades in 2 years is not really that great. I mean, I want someone who's making money and cashing out. I mean, this guy sounds like he's holding his trades for a very long time. You can see that when you come down here. So he's doing 0.66 trades per week and 15-month holding time. Wow, that's crazy. So it's worth checking out these bits down here. And you can also see the profitable weeks that they've had. This guy is more ideally what I'd be after. So in the past year, he's got 1 month, which is negative. 27% so far this year is pretty good. 55% the year before. 2018, he's only got -10. Now, that was a tough year because there was the cryptos crashing and then there was a lot of stocks dropping as well. This guy does a lot of trades as well, so that's good. I like to see that. And it looks like he's also doing it in a range of different things. So he's trading in stocks, ETFs, indices, currencies, cryptos, commodities, which is great. Now, that's another recommendation I have, is to try and diversify your portfolio. So ideally you want people who trade in different areas. So say, for example, you may want someone who trades stocks and you may want someone who trades FX. So say all the stocks are dropping, someone may be able to play the markets and make you money on FX instead. So it's basically just like not putting all your eggs in one basket at one point. And then when you come down here, you can see he does 10.5 trades a week, average holding time 1.5 months, and he's got 75% of his weeks are profitable. So that's pretty good. And there's a reason why this guy's got 4,743 copiers. Okay, so ideally I wanted to show you how to copy on this other guy, but I'm already copying him. So that throws a bit of a spanner in the works. And because he's got stocks that are in either UK or Chinese markets, then I can't close them because it's too late in the day. So for this example, I'm going to show you how to copy this other guy who's doing pretty well, who's Mr. G. So say you're happy with someone and you decide you want to copy them. What you want to do is you go to copy up here. Now you've got a few options when you get into here. So firstly is the amount you want to copy that person with. So this is my virtual account, so I'm just going to go with $1,000 for now. And it basically below it will say your average copied trade size. So say for example, this guy, Mr. G, he has, let's use a round number. Well, let's say he's got $1,000 that he trades with himself personally. Of all the trades he makes, they'll normally be about $13.90. So that's just to give you an idea. So what's that? That's probably like 1.4% of your balance. Yeah, 1.4% of your balance for each trade. And things like that are what affect your risk score. Like, I mean, someone who came along with $1,000 in their balance and traded with $1,000 in one trade is going to have probably a risk score of 10. And you wouldn't want to copy someone who did something like that. Now, the next part is to do with stop losses. Now, you can either set this as an amount or a ratio. And what this will try to do is, if, say you copy this guy with $1,000 and his balance is slowly going down, and then it hits the 600 mark, it will cash out for you on your behalf because that's the amount you said to cash out at. So it's a great way of preventing it going too far. If this guy invests in something risky or he just goes off the rails a little bit, maybe even you're asleep and then things go really bad, it will cash out on your behalf to save your money from going down too far. So you want to decide a figure in your head before you go ahead with this, where you want it to cash out. So the next option is to do with copying open trades. Now I tend to leave this unticked because I don't want it to copy trades at a price different to what the person I'm copying opened them at. The reason for this being is the price could have moved massively, and say for example, the person you're copying bought into something at say $500 a share, then it's now up at $1,000 a share. Now, the guy could still have that trade open. You've paid now 1,000 for it, and then say the market starts going the other way. The guy may decide, oh, I'll cash out at 800 before it goes back or too low. Now you're down a couple of $100 now, but he's still up a few hundred. So that's why I tend not to copy open trades. But again, it's up to you, and I'll let you decide that one. So for this example, I'm going to say no to copying open trades, and I'm just going to copy this just to show you what happens. So now if we go to the portfolio, you should be able to see Mr. G if I scroll down to him here. Now, because I didn't copy open trades, there is nothing in there at the moment. If I'd copied open trades, it would have bought into them, which I will do in a minute just to show you. But it's worth checking this every day or whenever you've got free time, just to check, see how things are going. Because I mean, if someone's not doing well, you'll probably want to stop copying them, which you can do by going up to this cog here and stopping that there. Or so I'll show you. I'm going to stop this now actually, just to show you what happens if I copy the open trades. So right, that's stopped there. So now if we go back to his profile, and I'm going to go copy, and I'm going to say copy with the brand, and I'm going to say stop loss of, I'm going to say a ratio of 60%, and I'm going to copy the open trades. So what that's going to try and do now is go to the market and open the trades which he's got at the price that they are now. Now if we scroll down, we can see here, so there we go. So some of these are already at a loss. Now this is just to do with the buy and sell spread. Basically you can never sell it straight away for the price you've bought it for, and there's a difference between the buy and the sell price. So say for example, just looking at here, I may not agree with one of his trades. So what's he doing? Let's have a look. Okay, let's just use Bitcoin for example. So at the moment he's buying Bitcoin. Now I may think right now that I think Bitcoin's going to go down massively. So rather than let that trade go in the direction he wants, and I can override that and then cancel that trade and close it. And then, so at the end of the day, you do have the final decision on trades, but obviously you will only ever see that if you monitor a person's portfolio and keep an eye on what they're buying and selling. So it's recommended to do that every now and then. But generally, if someone's a good trader, they will be following the market trend. I'd say generally, because I have copied one person in the past who just forever seemed to think the market was going down, and still to this day thinks the market is going down, which I appreciate it will at some point, but after about 2.5, 3 years of saying the same thing, you'd think, maybe I should just buy into something rather than shorting absolutely everything for 2.5 years. And I won't say his name, Thomas Barson. But yeah, he ended up making me lose quite a lot of money. So yeah, thank you very much. And he has recently been dropped from Etoro's Popular Investor Program. So well done Etoro for dropping him, because he's obviously an idiot. But anyway, let's move on. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you've got any questions about copy trading or who I'm copying right now, let us know in the comments. Let us know who you are copying right now in the comments. I'd love to know. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel. It really helps to keep this channel going. And there's also, if you haven't signed up to Etoro and you're considering signing up, there is an affiliate link below this video where if you sign up, I will get a kickback. It doesn't cost you anything more on signing up, but I just get a little bit of money in my account to help me make these videos. It's been Ollie from Get Geek. Thanks. Bye.